only 8% made an effort of eating different fruit. Because everyone develops, liking for a certain food, and then they get hooked on it. I have to eat banana immediately after lunch. Otherwise it is not good for me. Someone else says, I have to eat papaya in the night. Someone else says, a cold papaya is not really good for me. So everyone has this whole lot of habits which psychologically drive them to eat only one specific thing and stop out. Okay? To remove certain myths out of fruits, ideally, the best thing to do is to eat a fruit without a meal. So if you eat a fruit standalone, so if you eat a banana, say at 3 o'clock or at 11 o'clock or at 7 o'clock, that will deliver much more better value than a banana eaten along with the rest of the food. I'm not saying that the banana will not help you when you all have lunch or dinner also. Food will always help. But a banana will help if eaten standalone. Because then the vitamins and the energy is directly going to nourish your body. Okay? Ideally, 2 hours. Okay. So the idea is that as many colors as you all get into your food, that is your best guide. If today you all have had moong dal, which is the sabud moong dal, that means it's greenish yellow. Tomorrow, tur dal, then it is yellow. Third day, masoor dal, that is reddish in tone. If you were to take a look at nature, it has divided food groups by colors. It's very easy to make your life easier and say that I had spinach on Monday, I have to repeat something green again on Thursday. You all have to take a look at the colors on your plate, and if you all include different colors, what you will do is include different vitamins to your body. You will include different minerals in your body. Give you a very, very small example. It's very essential to eat the potassium salt. Now the potassium salt has a lot of other options, but the most important of the lot, it reduces your stress. And where do you find potassium? Easy answers are potato and banana. Again a fantastically easy answer. Mostly a potato and banana is found in every Indian household. Mostly. Out of 100%, 80% of people will have that. But see the difference. A banana chip is not going to give you potassium. A fried potato chip is not going to give you potassium. Lot of oil in your potato bhaji is not going to let the potassium be available to you. So the trick is that try to have food which is healthy. It's easy to digest, lot of vitamins and minerals. It definitely has fiber. We will cover fiber separately today. It definitely has no fat and cholesterol. Another myth about cholesterol is not available in any plant food at all. And we definitely need cholesterol in our body. That's a separate series of a lecture which we will announce. We won't take up cholesterol right now because the topic is very lengthy. But no plant food has cholesterol. So if I were to ask you all, does rajma have cholesterol? No. So does spinach have cholesterol? No. Does watermelon have cholesterol? No. Does wheat chapati have cholesterol? No. Applying ghee on top of that chapati and that roti also is not as harmful as the fried foods that we eat. So there is a differentiator attached with good food and bad food. Simple answer is the lesser the food is cooked, the better. And lesser the oil and ghee is utilized is better. But we still require oil and ghee in our life. We will cover that bit also. So eating vitamin-rich food boosts immunity and fights illness-causing toxins. A whole lot of times we seem to be eating, a lot of people who are working, they don't have a choice but they are on the run. So they will have to grab a pav vada and eat. And they've been eating pav vadas for 30 years. And mostly it's not necessary just because they've been eating pav vadas or junk food that they will have heart disease. Maybe that person has better habits. Maybe the person's exercising. So you will not see that. But you will see the manifestation of that after 50, 55. You will see that whatever you have eaten over the last 30 years is actually going to, it's like, you're accumulating interest. So whatever it is you save, whatever it is that you put in your body, the body gives it back to you with interest. So you put pav vada, you will get a whole lot of diseases back in interest. But if you made sure that along with that pav vada, you've been able to have even dal, you've been able to have even chapati, you've been able to have even vegetables, at least for 1 or 2 meals, it makes a lot of difference. Okay, a whole lot of times, proper diet, we will cover that in the future lectures. A proper set of diet is actually going to help you reduce your heart disease symptoms. If a person is already suffering from heart disease, food actually helps you reduce a whole lot of symptoms. There are foods which help during menopause, there are foods that help during arthritis, there are foods that help for a lot of cancer related issues. So foods by itself, there are enough options available for it to give you a proper diet will actually reduce the symptoms. Sensible eating with fewer calories, we will cover it in one of the next set of slides. Okay, this is very interesting. How many of you all will agree that food actually sharpens our mind? How do you think food actually affects our brain? Anyone has any thoughts on it? 50% of food affects our brain? Why do you say that, sir? Activates the brain. Okay. The reason why whatever we eat affects our main and primary organs, which really affect the way we work, the way we react to life, the way we seem to go about on a day-to-day, this thing is food is made up of macronutrients and micronutrients. So to remove the jargon out of the so-called thing, it's basically made up of carbohydrates, it's made up of proteins, and it is made up of fats. There is a reason why each food group should be included in your diet. So if anyone tells you all drop eating ghee and oil, that is not really right. Because 60% of our cells in the brain are made up of fat. But the question to ask is what kind of fat? Okay. A whole lot of proteins are required for a person to do day-to-day activities, to sleep better, to be in a better mood, to remain active, to have good memory. A whole lot of carbohydrates are also very essential to keep your brain active. We will cover the different kinds of foods in terms of protein, carbohydrates and fats in the next set of slides itself. But what you eat definitely affects your brain. And the lesser you eat nutrient-dense stuff, the more problems that you will see in later life. The most essential that you need to focus on is that anything that you eat is going to affect your memory and is definitely going to affect or probably increase symptoms of very difficult diseases like Alzheimer's and things like that. Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, part of the problem is the lifestyle of a person over the last 50 years. And most important of the lot, that if you eat well, it's like, you know, when you eat, when you walk home and you smell some nice batata vadas being frying or some nice food being prepared and there's nice chicken stew happening or whatever it is that a person likes, if that is getting prepared at home, even if we are not hungry, how our tongue salivates. God has created this wonderful sensation where, you know, the nose talks straight to the brain. Nose doesn't talk to your tongue. The nose talks straight to the brain. Chemicals that are produced in the brain make your tongue water, make your mouth water. Okay. So what you are talking about is that there are two kinds of foods. Like I mentioned earlier, the food processing companies have done a very good job in terms of making us salivate on a whole lot of foods that we ideally should not be eating. At the same time, there are very good nutritious food that you will be preparing at home, which if prepared right with all the nutritions is going to keep you healthy as well as keep you in a fantastic mood. If you are in a good mood, you are going to do everything much better than what you would have done otherwise. We'll quickly go over some reasons why seniors have problems in nutrition. They might be suffering nutrition related problems because they have certain diseases. They might be having, if seniors are having medications for at least a minimum of 5 to 7 years, that will definitely alter the way they will smell food, the way they will eat food, the way they will look at food. Because you might have liked a particular food type, but over a period of time due to medications, you might not like that food at all. Okay. Another crucial problem where medications are concerned is that if you had a certain problem, suppose one has a joint problem, most often than not, seniors do not go and check back with the doctors that do I need a different prescription. You get so dependent on having that tablet, I have a joint problem, I need to have this tablet. Maybe the problem is actually gone away. Maybe you all do not need the same prescription. Maybe the prescription has to be lowered. So it is ideally the right thing to do is check your prescriptions at a minimum period of 3 to 5 months. It doesn't make sense on keeping on having the same medicines unless the doctor insists on it. A lot of digestive changes that happen over a period of time. The study that I had done in terms of meeting senior citizens, a lot of seniors that I met in, say, lower middle income class group have actually bent over. Okay? And they bent over at the age group of 60, 62. You will see seniors bending over that much only mostly after 70 years or 75 years, because no matter what, we don't, as an Indian family, we do not eat out as much as the Western parts do. So what is the reason why so many people seem to be having a back problem, seem to be having a neck problem, seem to be having a joint problem? Their problem is not calcium. Their problem is not as much calcium as their problem is protein. Anyone give me examples of protein foods? Sprouts, okay. Dals. Nuts. Paneer, yes. Okay. So, ma'am, when you said that sprouts contains protein foods, do you also agree that chole or chickpeas also contain protein? It does? You're sure about that? After the germination, they definitely contain more. What about rajma? Okay. Let's drop one more myth. Every set of those dried beans that we get choli, we get moong, we get mat. Okay. The minute we soak it, the amount of available protein is really very good. It can be almost compared to the protein that you get in meats. Okay. The rajma along with chawal or rajma along with chapati turns the protein into the kind of protein that the body requires. Okay. So every bean, every dal, every sprout has it. When you say that the moong or the sprout has it, anything which is growing, that's a very well said, ma'am. Anything that is germinating or anything that is growing will have more protein than the one that is not growing. But the difference is very little. The difference is not that much. So if you do not want to wait for it to sprout and still include, this is the best form. And those people in the lower middle income class group are not aware that if they have just dal chawal, their parents will be able to walk better, talk better, move around, be more independent. Okay. So there are a lot of these things are understanding that nutritional food is very expensive. That is not true. If we say strawberry or a blueberry, in the Western world, blueberries and strawberries are said as superfood. For us, our Peru, which is available in the market at 5 rupees, just that single Peru is the best superfood that you would get. It has more than 13 vitamins and minerals. It is definitely much mineral dense and vitamin dense than a whole lot of fruits and vegetables that you regularly eat. So this is attached with that we think that nutritional food is expensive. That is not true. Okay, there are lots of fruits and vegetables that are available. Even the cantaloupe, what we call the yellow colored this thing, muskmelon or the yellow tarboos.
Tarboos is the red one.
Yeah. Now even that is as good as guava. Just 3 to 4 slices works out fantastically well. Just 3 to 4 slices. In both a guava as well as a cantaloupe is a perfect food for all smokers. Cantaloupe and muskmelon both have equal amount of this. Watermelon is there, but not as